Was the advent of social media and technology as a whole a positive or a negative for humanity? Has there been more pros or more cons? We're going to talk about that and a lot more right now. Fell in love with the cat. What's going on? I'm Kalani Evans, and this is the Man Up Podcast, where every man, woman, and human are welcome. And I welcome you back to episode 6. It is August 17th, 2026.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Big 2026. That's too many sixes consecutively for my liking. But hey, we're rolling with it. Fuck it, it's rock and roll. We're rolling with it today. But it's a little too many, but we're gonna roll on anyway. But how are you doing? I am Kalani Evans, and I welcome you. Thank you for being back with me. I feel blessed. I feel good. I feel amazing. I hope you feel the same. I was so tired. I was so damn tired this week. Prior up to this weekend. I felt like my eyelids had BBLs, bro. Like I couldn't keep my eyes open, bro. Like my eyelids had dumped. Like them bitches was heavy. Like 2 sumo wrestlers were sitting on my eyelids. Like, I couldn't keep my eyes open. But I feel rejuvenated now. I'm gonna get right into it, man. A little bit catching up with me. Today is Monday, like I said, August 17th. Yesterday was Sunday. And I had myself a good old-fashioned American Sunday. Took my son to the park. Yes, parks still do exist. People still do go there. Although not a lot of people. It was like me and one other person there. Well, one other father with his daughter. It's like, it was a beautiful day and there weren't that many people out. I'm like, man, in my day in the 90s in the summer, this place would have been jam-packed, running with kids, snotty-nosed, badass kids everywhere. So things have changed, and we're going to get into that. We're going to get into how society's changed and things of that nature and what some of the causes are of that. But I was at the park with my son, and it was a great time. We had a beautiful time. He loves the swing. So he beelines straight to the swing every time. And for those of you who are parents or just people who have been to the parks lately, these new swings are fucking crazy. And I mean that in a good way. These things are like strapping in to a roller coaster at Disney. It's crazy. These kids are so much more well protected than we were back in the day. Like, it's insane. All we had back then was a little ass swing, or you had the big swing. And either one you were on, you were launching off of that motherfucker like a torpedo at some point. That's all you knew. I remember when like starting in kindergarten, like me and my friends would like launch off we get as much momentum as we could on the swing, launch off that bitch and land in the bark dust and see who goes the furthest. That was like the thing back in the day. I'm like, these kids can't even, some of these kids aren't doing that stuff now. We were doing underdogs and people were falling off and flipping and almost becoming paraplegic, like whole different era. Just a different day and time, different day and age. But I had myself a good old fashioned American Sunday. Took my son to the park, had a nice conversation with the dad there. Talked about back pain and kids dieting and how picky kids can be with what they eat, and just a good solid conversation that I feel like is needed. I feel like we don't have enough of, you know what I mean, as far as like human interaction is concerned. And we'll get into all that soon in this episode. But yeah, man, came home, went and got my son some food, came home, watched a couple 80s and 90s movies, man, and it just, the nostalgia, man, and it just got me thinking about the time I grew up in. I was born in the late 80s. I grew up in the 90s, and I was really reminiscing on the 90s and how magical of a time it was. The 90s had like pixie dust in the air or something. It was just a beautiful time. You didn't need much. If you had $5 in your pocket, you were good. $5 in your pocket, you were straight. That's all you needed. We were outside all day in the summer, all day on our bikes, running around, going to the parks, meeting up with friends. And when we were inside, it was magical too. It was, we had our Nintendo, our PlayStation, whatever, whatever the console was back then. You had your 90s movies playing, probably from Blockbuster or Hollywood Video, rented movies somewhere like that. Like, it was just a magical time, man. It really was. It was like we had less, but we were more fulfilled. We didn't have all the technology we have now. We didn't have all the stuff we have now to entertain us, per se. But we used our imaginations. We actually met up and did things together. We went over to our friend's house. And yeah, we had less, but we had more in a way. We were just more fulfilled, I feel like, as people. And yeah, man, I remember it's, you're playing, you got your cousins over, you got your friends over, you're going over there. There was always something to be done. There was always something to do. Nowadays, I feel like kids just are always in the house. Like, there's so much to do technology wise. They don't feel the need. They don't have the urge to go out and seek that adventure and seek that fun. And I'm trying to give my son as much of that experience as possible, as you possibly can in 2026. I'm trying to give my son that. So, had a great Sunday. Yeah, man, the 90s, man. Meeting up with your cousins. Speaking of cousins, man, one of my cousins corrected me, and I got to give her a shout out. Shay Shay, I love you. Thank you for correcting me. She wanted me to let everyone know that she was the first person to suggest I ever do a podcast. Me and my older brother used to argue so much. She was like, man, y'all need a fucking show. Y'all need a podcast. Y'all need something. And she reminded me about that. So shout out to my cousin Shay Shay, man. You were the first. You saw the vision. I appreciate you. Shout out to you. But yeah, man, the 90s, man. Your cousins were always over. Your best friends were always over, man. It was just, I try to explain. It was just a good time. I try to explain it to kids now. When I speak to kids, it's like they look at me and they don't get it, man. It's just, you had to be there. You had to be there. Had to be there. But that was my Sunday. Before I go any further, I want to say rest in peace to Hayden Panettiere, movie star. A lot of you know her from Heroes and Nashville and all these things. She's done great things as an adult actress. She passed away yesterday at 36 years old. Just a tragedy. Such a beautiful, talented lady. Like, I hate to see this, man. And just such a tragedy. You know what I mean? So young, 36 years old. Had an 11-year-old daughter. Just sad to see someone that talented, or anyone in particular, just lose their life at that age. Yeah, but she starred in Nashville. She starred in Heroes. A lot of you millennials like me probably remember these shows. But for me, the first thing that comes to my mind every time I saw her was Remember the Titans. She was young, and she was like 10 years old in Remember the Titans. Remember the Titans, I don't know, like, if you don't know that movie, there's something wrong. You need to go check it out. But for those of you who know the movie, she played one of the coach's daughters in that movie. And I always remember her for that movie. So young, so talented, wise beyond her years, seemed too grown to be that young. You know what I mean? And just a great young actress. And it's just sad, man. And I'm hearing that it might have been an overdose, unfortunately. And it's just crazy, man. Addiction has taken so many lives. So many young, promising lives have been destroyed due to addiction. It is an absolute monster. And I just wanted to take this time to whoever, just to shine a light and to shout out Whoever's going through addiction, battling it, whether you're in the midst of battling it or you're on the back end and you've overcome it, shout out to you. Stay strong, because I know I've seen how this thing destroys people, eats up families. It's just a terrible thing. So whoever's dealing with addiction in any way, shape, or form, or knowing someone that's supporting someone that's dealt with addiction, however it's affecting, because it can affect you in so many different ways. However it's affecting you, shout out to you. God bless you. Stay strong. Keep up the good fight, because it is a tough fight. And rest in peace to Hayden Panettiere. It just sucks. But I definitely wanted to shout her out, because if you're a millennial, if you grew up in the time I grew up in, she was kind of like the homie. It was like someone you knew. You know, you grow up with these child actors, man, that are the same age as you or around the same age as you. You grow up with them and you see them grow, and you see them, and you're both growing and going through the same things at the same time. And, you know, you feel like they're a part of it's not a parasocial thing. It's just, you feel like you have a connection to that person because they're connected to your childhood at a simpler time. So definitely was sad to see that she passed. Yeah. And what else did I do this weekend? Oh, I had to do one of my least favorite things in the world this weekend, y'all. I had to go to the dispensary. Man, let me tell you about that dispensary, man. That dispensary is something wicked. Do you understand me? I hate going. I don't smoke weed. I'm not a weed guy. Don't smoke. Tried it in my life. It's not for me. But here and there, I have to go for my partner, right? She indulges. So I go into the dispensary. It's one of my least favorite things to do, because I don't know, like, wherever you're listening, if weed is legalized in your state, you might know what I'm talking about. You go into these dispensaries, dog, they have a menu that looks like whatever restaurant you want to name, Ruth Chris, motherfucking Olive Garden, whatever restaurant you go to, if you think that menu is long, you should see these goddamn dispensary menus, bro. And this is a person. I'm green. I do not know what is going on. I sold a little bit of, you know what I'm saying, back in the day, but really, nigga, you know, that's different. This is next level. You should see, man. I was looking at the pre-rolls. The menu for the pre-rolls, bro. It was like 100 to 200 items. I said, how am I supposed to choose from this shit? So I walk in. Before we get there, I walk in. You know, and I'm keeping my cool. You know, I gotta keep my aura right. I gotta act like I know. Act like I've been there before. I mean, I've been there before, but I gotta act like I know what I'm doing. So I go in there. I greet the guy. The guy greets me. We greet each other. He says, "Oh, well, what will it be for you today?" And you know, this guy, and just to be, for full disclosure, I did not like this guy. This guy, he came off super snobby for no reason. Like, you work at a dispensary, bro, chill. He was like one of those liberal leftist, half a hippie type motherfuckers. Like, I wasn't feeling his vibe and how he was communicating with me. So I'm already kind of turned off on that, right? Because at least I usually get a good employee there. You know, I usually do. They're usually hella chill. Like, they're super chill usually. But this guy, man, he just gave off dick. You know what I mean? Pause. But he gave off that asshole type of vibe. So I'm in there. I'm going back and forth. You know, I'm looking at the pre-rolls, and I'm like, man, what's your best deal? Because, you know, I was in there for not just the pre-rolls. I was also in there for, she wanted an eighth. Let me just be frank. And I say, what are your best deals on your eighths? What can I get for you? You know, what are your best deals for an eighth? Yeah. Humor me, right? This motherfucker, this dude, he points me to a $67 eighth. Mind you, I asked for your best deals. I didn't ask for the best eighth. I didn't ask for the most quality. I said, what are your best deals for an eighth? He points me over to the $67 eighth. I was born, but I wasn't born yesterday. Like I said, I partook in some street pharmaceuticals back in the day. I sold a little something. We was giving up, bro. Back then, eighths were going for a dub. I know a lot of things have changed. Times have changed. It's gone corporate. I get that. But come on, man. If I ask you for a deal, you don't put me over to the most expensive shit you got. So right then, I really wasn't rocking with dude. So I told him, I cut him off. He was trying to sell me on how great the $67 eighths were. He was trying to upsell me. So I cut him off there. I said, you know what? Just point me to the cheapest eighth. Boom. Got that. So I got the eighth out the way. Bam. Bam. How much is that? Okay, cool. Bam. Okay. What do you got for your pre-rolls? Okay. So we got this, that, and the other. I see $3 pre-rolls. Bam. I get those. Give me 3-4 of those. Boom. I'm out the door. Ring me up. No tip for you. Because try to upsell me, dog. And you were kind of, I didn't like your vibe anyway to begin with. But you try to upsell me. So no tip for you. I'm gone. Wipe the sweat off my face. Exhale when I step out the door. Finally free. That place gives me so much damn anxiety for no reason when I go, man. It's crazy. I don't know who can relate, but I had to get this off my chest because I can't be the only one. I know I'm in the minority of people who smoke and people who don't, but there has to be someone out there that can feel me on this. So if you can, drop something in the comments or just acknowledge this somehow. I don't know. If you're listening on a streaming platform, I guess I reached you. Hopefully I reached you and you are not alone. You're not alone. Yeah, really, you're not alone. You're not. I'm with you for real, man. Cause that thing was, every time I have to go, I get anxiety, man. Every time. When my girl tells me one of her friends is going for her, I am elated. Thank you. Because I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to, it's not my culture. Now, if you ask me to go to the liquor store, which, I don't really do anymore, but I know my way around there. That's easy. That's easy work. But, yeah, man. So that's how my weekend's been so far. Yeah, it's been good. It's been real good, man. I'm feeling good. But while we're on the topic of anxiety and human interaction and things of that sort, I wanted to touch on a couple things. With all of this that I just spoke about, there's a bigger subject matter to it. And there's a bigger cause. Like I said before, when I mentioned with the parks, how there weren't as many people there as I remember there being in like the 90s and the 2000s when I was a kid. People just being awkward with each other, i.e. The dispensary guy, the super liberal dispensary guy that probably wears panties or some shit like that. Like he was, him being awkward. Maybe I'm mistaken the way he interacts with me. Maybe it's just not what I expect because I'm from a different era. He's from a different era. And all this got me thinking, like, is social media to blame for this? Is technology to blame for all this? Has the advent of social media and technology been a net negative or a net positive? Because both things can be true. It's not all bad. It's not all good. There's a lot of good things that the internet and social media and technology, there's a lot of amazing things that have come from social media and from technology being where it's at today. But has the toll it's taken in the kind of decay that has taken place just socially, has it been worth it? Because like I said before, in the 90s, it was like we had less of these things, but you felt more fulfilled because the person-to-person interaction was more rich. There was more empathy. There was more care. People didn't just walk by you without saying anything 9 times out of 10. Most of the time, you were going to, there was going to be some form of positive interaction. And if you look with young people, depression being up, anxiety being up, has social media and technology hurt us more than it's helped us? I found myself wrestling with that because you have so many, as I said, so many opportunities, like financially and career wise, that have come from social media, technology, and just what I'm doing right now. I couldn't have done this in the 90s. I couldn't be a podcaster. I couldn't touch people, have a voice that I have, like all of that. I couldn't be building this podcast and building what I'm building without technology and social media being what it is today. But I see so much, especially in the kids, man, I see so much the lack of camaraderie and the lack of community that I see throughout society. It's tough, you know? People won't look at you when you walk by them. Most of the time now. And if you do say hi, either you get ignored or you get treated like you got motherfucking hepatitis C, D, B, G, and like you got shit on your face. Like they just look at you like, why are you talking to me? Like, it's actually crazy. It's almost like frowned upon to try to interact with someone, to try to, you know, and it's unfortunate. And especially in the kids' case, because I remember there being such a harmonious vibe in the 90s and the 2000s when I was coming up, and to see that decay and to see that die out, man, that breaks my heart, because that was part of the magic in our upbringing. That was the root of the magic in our upbringing, was the tight-knit nature that we had with other kids, with our friends, with family. And now you see that kind of eroding. Family doesn't come together as much. We got this shit. We could just Zoom each other. Oh, I'll just FaceTime you. I'll just Zoom you. Whereas back in the day, I was pulling up on you. You know, your family was pulling up on you. And we don't even see family together for the holidays anymore a lot of the times. You know, when I can Zoom you or FaceTime you and talk to you that way, what's the point? Why do I need to come drive an hour, 2 hours, 15 minutes to you and spend some time? Well, I can just see you. I can just see you over the phone. I can just, you know, use the pad and see you. You don't, it's just, it's broken us down to a certain extent. And we've lost a lot of those things that we had prior to social media, prior to technology being what it is. It's just the truth. So my question to you is, to you out there, is it a fair trade-off? Is it an even trade-off for everything that we gained through social media, through technology, through the access we gained, through the opportunities we gained? Is it a fair exchange for the lack of community and the lack of, I'll say, because I mean, we still interact with each other every day, right? By interaction, I mean meaningful interaction, meaningful human interaction. Is it a fair exchange? Is it a fair trade that we lost all that? But we have all these opportunities and all these capabilities, these new capabilities and all this information. We're in the information age. Information's at our fingertips. It's right there. Everything we want, we got. You got ChatGPT, you got Claude, you got Google. Everything we want to know is right there. We don't got to read a book. People, our literacy has gone down. Like, things have slowly dissipated. I would say precipitously. You've seen precipitous dissipation in certain things. You've seen it. Reading and writing levels are down in schools. Like I just said, people aren't reading anymore. We're getting all our information off ChatGPT. It's all being fed to us. We don't have to seek things anymore. We don't have to seek adventure. Kids don't have to go outside and play and explore and do things like that when they could just do it all on TikTok. They're getting their endorphin rush on TikTok instead of going out there into the world and getting it like we did. You have to do a backflip off of a play structure to get the rush and the endorphin rush. And that they're getting just watching and scrolling down TikTok, just doom scrolling. They're getting it. They're seeing all this. They're living vicariously through these videos, through these images, but they're not getting the real life experience. And that's where I feel like it's hurt most is the kids, but also the family unit. Because like I said, we don't all need to meet up every day. We don't all need to meet up. I can see you whenever I want to see you. So for me, it's tough. It's tough. It is tough. I can't decide. Like, I'm still undecided on if it's worth everything. If everything we've gained is worth everything we've lost. But I'm leaning towards no. You know? But I know things evolve, things grow. That's just the way it is. That's life. But keeping your family together, keeping your family unit together in this day and age is extremely difficult. It's extremely difficult. And it takes a lot of it takes a lot of effort to keep your family together and to keep your family strong, because there's so many things pulling at us. There's so many things pulling at us. And I didn't even mention yet relationships as far as dating is concerned. I haven't been single for a while. People don't even know how to, from what I'm hearing, the dating scene is kind of ugly. I mean, look what social media has done to the dating scene. Look what it's done to self-worth. If you don't have a certain number of likes, you ain't shit in today's world. If you don't have a certain number of views in today's world, you are nothing. You don't matter. You're not important. You're deemed unimportant if you don't have a certain level of clout on the internet or in whatever endeavor you're into. You know what I mean? People will mock you. They won't even pay attention to you if you don't have a certain amount of likes, views, subscribers, this, that, or the third. That's what we deemed important. That's how we measure if someone matters or if someone is talented or whatever the case may be. If someone is pretty, if someone is funny, if someone is likable.
You ain't bad, you ain't nothing. You ain't nothing.
Is that real? That's not real life, right? It's not real life. You can buy likes. You can buy subscribers. You can buy everything. So is it real? A woman might not even look your way if you don't have a certain amount of likes. If you don't have a certain amount of money. If she scrolls down your Instagram, you could be the nicest, most loyal, hardworking, best guy in the world. If she doesn't find you attractive, or you don't have you're not living a certain lifestyle that she's into, she's not going to look your way. You're not even going to have a shot. Whereas back in the day, I didn't know any of that. I just met you in real life. You had to meet someone in real life and get to know them in real time, face to face. Nowadays, everything's judged and started online. That's how people are meeting. So dating is totally different. Relationships are totally different. People think if you don't post them every 2 days, you don't love them. That's how we're gauging love now. Not how I treat you day to day. It's about, oh, you didn't like my picture. You don't talk about me on social media. Everything is for social media now. That's how we gauge everything. That's not real. That's not real life. That's not how it should be. That's not how a relationship is measured. That's not what matters in a relationship. Shared experience, life experience, real love, going through things together. That's how we gauge love. That's how we should gauge love anyway. But that's not how we do it anymore. Social media has so much real estate in what we do, in every single thing we do. If you post a picture and that bitch gets no likes or 2 likes in a day, you might be depressed that day.
Take it easy.
No shit. Like, people really are living and dying in some ways, unfortunately, by social media. The pressures of social media. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it, man. There's just such a dichotomy from what used to be and what is right now. I don't know if it's worth the exchange. I don't know if it's an even trade. But people can make a living. You can become a millionaire online. This is true. You can become famous online. This is true. There are so many avenues and ways to make money, to make a living, and to do things like that. Like there are great things about social media and about technology that have come about. But I just don't know if it's worth it. I just don't know if it's worth losing what really matters. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. The first thing that comes to mind, it made everything a competition. I've touched on this before. Even couples are in competition because of social media. It made everything a competition. Instead of supporting each other, truly supporting each other with no hidden agenda, it's always a comparison. Who has the best? Who makes the most money? Who drives the best car? Who has the baddest woman? Who has the best life? Who's living the best life? When in fact, a lot of these people behind the scenes are miserable. Fucking miserable. Most of those people on social media that you think are so amazing and their lives are so great and perfect and everything they do, they try to come off as being perfect. And no, a lot of those people are living miserably. Because like I said, fulfillment. The things social media gives you, they lack fulfillment. Real life gives you fulfillment. And things aren't always what they seem. Actually, things are almost never what they seem to be. And that's why you can't gauge your life off social media and what other people think and any of that. You got to have your self-worth needs to be, and your self-esteem needs to be high because of what you think about yourself first. All that other stuff is cool, but you have to love yourself first. You have to love who you are and be happy with who you are. Otherwise, it won't matter how many likes or how successful you get. None of that will matter in the end anyway, which is the way it goes for a lot of these people. You see a lot of this stuff, man. A lot of these people on social media, these influencers, these people, these celebrities, they're not happy. They're not whole. A lot of them, some of them don't have God in their life. And a lot of the time you see them, meet an early demise because of that lack of fulfillment and that lack of being close to the Creator. See, you know what? I don't see how anyone could look. This is kind of off topic, but on topic at the same time. I don't see how anyone can look around at what God has created. Like put the phone down, put the computer down, go outside and just take in God's creation, take in the universe. I don't see how anyone can do that and say God isn't real. People are so quick to give credit and glory to everything except God. Oh, it's evolution. It's this, it's that, it's the universe. Who do you think the universe runs through? Who do you think created the universe? Why do you think all things work together the way they do? People really think that's by accident or just by chance. Yeah, we started as a goop that created, that formed and evolved into what we are today. If you really think that, God bless you. Because there's no way you should look outside, go outside, breathe in that air, see those trees, see that wind blowing, see that sky, see that sun, and still think God is not real. There should be no way. I don't see how anyone sees. I don't see how anyone can think like that. God is everywhere. People be like, well, what's the proof of God? You? Did you go outside today? Did you see how this system of things works? Did you see how the universe, everyone's into the universe nowadays, right? What you're really doing when you're giving credit to the universe, you're really crediting God. You just don't know it. Some people, not all people. Some people are very aware of that. But go outside. That's the proof. That's all the proof you need. Not to mention the inner workings and the things that actually go on this planet every day. God is everywhere. He's omnipresent. But I feel like with this social media era that we're in this technology era, people are so quick to give, it's science. It's this, it's that. There is none of that without God, okay? Science is a byproduct of God. Science isn't something that just... Science is just an explanation for what God is doing. You got to know that. But God is beyond all that. But I feel like a lot of people are out of touch with that because there's so much social media. There's so much technology. There's so many things to distract us from what truly matters. And I feel like social media and technology is a tool. It is meant for us to use as a tool. But I feel like it's using us now. We're not using it. It's using us. But it's meant for us to use, to better ourselves, to be better, to be more prepared, to be able to do things like this and whatever it is you do. Because we all use it for something. To be more knowledgeable. I feel like all that is very true. And that's how we should use it. We shouldn't just acquiesce to this all control we have to this thing and it becomes our world. No, we have to use it as a tool. I feel like that's the happy medium with technology. Use it as a tool. But sometimes you got to put the phone down. You got to put the pad, the tablet, the iPhone, the computer. Sometimes we got to put it away. And I'm no different because sometimes I get lost in the sauce too. And I find myself doom scrolling or I find myself just on social media too much. Sometimes I got to put it down for a half day, a day. You know what I mean? I took a sabbatical for a year and a half off social media one time. After a while, it takes some getting used to, but it's like any other drug. After a while, you get used to not having it and you don't feel like you need it. Life does exist outside of these things. There are civilizations that don't have any technology. I wonder how they live, but they eat people. So we don't. They eat people and shit. So they need a little technology. They need to Google some shit. They needed some internet or something in their lives. Cause if you come on that island, they tearing your ass up, eating you, stringing you up. Yeah. See, we need to just drop a computer and some Wi-Fi off on one of them islands and just let them discover some shit. It's crazy. Savages. But yeah, I feel like we don't interact the same. And that's where I see it with the children and in interaction, even with adults. That's why I feel like we're missing something there that we need to get back to. Try to go meet some people in real life. Try to go out and meet some people in person instead of online. It might, it might hit different for you. It might hit different for you. Who knows? You got to try it. We can't be so beholden to this shit. But as far as pros and cons and what it's done, if it's done, I'm not the person to say. I don't think I'm the person to judge that. In my opinion, I feel like it's done more harm. But at the same time, it is what it is. God makes no mistakes. It's supposed to happen. It was supposed to happen. It was supposed to be what it is. I feel like it's on us at the end of the day to not let it control us, like I said, and to use it and not let it use us. I feel like that's the win. That's the win with social media, with technology. And try to have an open mind and, don't judge people off the way they live online and the internet and how many likes they have and how many followers they have. No. There are cool people with 50 followers, 100 followers. It doesn't make anyone less of anything. So we just got to know. We got to know the difference. That's it. I feel like that's it. We just got to know the difference. It is what it is. Like, you got to balance everything. Just balance with everything. We just got to find the balance. That's how life is. Whether it's how much social media you consume, whether it's your diet, whether it's money, or whether it's ego, love, everything has balance and order. Everything needs balance and order. Too much of anything isn't good. So I feel like finding that balance is the key. That's the key. But yeah, man, moving on. In Donald Trump news. Hey, you know, Trump's always giving content. So, you know, we gotta talk about the boy Trump. He says that I'm gonna play you the audio, but I'm gonna explain. Donald Trump spoke with he spoke at a presser or whatever, and he stated that we are close to the Strait of Hormuz belonging to America, essentially being a part of America now. See, I talked about this episode one, that this whole Iran situation was about the Strait of Hormuz, them wanting to keep it, us wanting to gain it. I think it's 40% of oil runs through there, and the world's oil. It is a priceless asset and resource, and we want that shit. If you know anything about America, and I love where I'm from, don't get me wrong, but if you know anything about America, when we want something, we will do anything to get it. So, rob, steal, kill, thrill, all of that. So, for me, I knew this was coming. I don't know if Trump, he'll tell a fib or two. I don't know if we're actually that close to gaining control and it being our territory, but that's what he said. That's what he said recently. So I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play Trump, and then I'm gonna play another clip of Trump going at it with a reporter that he doesn't like. Hilarious. Hold on. So I'm gonna play both of those for you. Just bear with me. Okay, so this is Trump. This is Trump saying that he's gonna declare the Strait of Hormuz U.S. territory when we defeat Iran, which he says is not far off, not far away. This is Trump, y'all. Go ahead.
And after we finish defeating Iran, which is being very badly defeated, pretty soon I'll be declaring the Hormuz Strait a territory of the United States. Essentially, that's what.
All right. So there you have it. Trump can't even pronounce Hormuz, but he just knows there's a lot of fucking money there. That's what he knows. He might not know how to pronounce Hormuz. He said hummus. Trump don't know how to pronounce that shit, but he just knows there's a lot of money there. You see, he says after we defeat Iran, they're going to declare it a U.S. territory. That's what I've been saying this was all about. It's all about the money. It's all about the greed. It's all about the power, the control. You control resources and assets. You control everything. It's power. That's what this is about. That's what this is always about. And unfortunately, we have to shed blood for them to gain what they want. It's a sick world. It's a sick. Is that not a sick ideology to you? I can't be the only one that feels like this. I know you do too. Because it's sick. Okay, now I'm going to play Trump going at the reporter's head. Apparently, this is a reporter that he's familiar with and does not like very much. Okay, here we go. Here's Trump going at this reporter.
Quiet. You're very disrespectful in front of this young man. Okay? Don't you find her disrespectful? He understands. Quiet. Who are you with?
I'm with CNN.
Fake news.
I
You're
just wanted
fake
to follow
news.
up on this out-
You're a loud, boisterous person. You're fake news.
I was
Be
trying
quiet.
to find out if
Be
you had
quiet.
been talking
Be
to
quiet.
Sam Moon, if he had asked you
You're a
to
fake
bail out
reporter, and you
all the
report fake
military
news.
exercises.
Go ahead.
Mr. President, is there enough food on the USS Lincoln?
Yeah, it is. That was a CNN fake report.
All right. So you see, that's about the most angry I've seen him in terms of dealing with the media. I guess he really didn't like that reporter too much. I don't know what she said or what she's reported in the past that he didn't agree with, but obviously there's something there. Yeah, man, that's just Trump being Trump to me, man. He bullying her, not letting her talk, it's Oh yeah, and by the way, that boy Trump, did he eat? he ate, huh? He ate with that? He didn't 89. He didn't 8. That boy didn't 8. He 9'd, man. He 9'd, man. He went in on that reporter. That boy 8. ATE. He 9 though. He 9'd for real. He did more than 8. He didn't, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. That's Trump, man. He hit her with the fake news. He hit her with the "you are fake news."
You are fake news.
Trump, man. That dude knows how to stay in the conversation. Obviously, he's the president of the United States. He's going to be in the lexicon anyway. He's going to be trending all the time anyway. But his personality is he's such a marketer. He's a lot of things. Not all good. Mostly not good. But he's such a marketer. He knows how to keep his name in the news, man. He knows how to keep his name afloat. He just, yeah, man. He's a walk-in. He's virality. Literally the definition of virality. Like, and just a lightning rod for drama. You know what I mean? It's crazy. I do want to know. I'm curious. I'm gonna have to do my due diligence on that to know what she said, but yeah, he treated her kind of bad. That was rude. That was rude, but that's Trump. Telling her to be quiet like that. She must have pissed him off for real. She must have called him orange or some shit, or I don't know. Talked about his toupee. I don't know. But yeah, man, Strait of Hormuz, we want it. Iran's going to do whatever they can to protect it. We're going to do whatever we can to get it and make it U.S. territory. A lot of bloodshed for greed, money, and power. That's the world we live in, unfortunately, per usual. Yeah, man, I wanted to touch on a lighter note. I wanted to touch on Forbes dropped their list for highest paid podcasters. And since we're podcasting, baby, it's just right. It's only right we talk about it. Since we podcasting, baby, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to touch on that because a lot of people I admire are on this list. So without further ado, we're gonna check it out. We're gonna check out this list. We're gonna talk about some names on this list. A lot of people, a lot of people that I feel like are talented and very deserving. Because you know what? You see a lot of hate going on when these lists come out. And I'm like, this shit, if you are in this field at all, or any field you're in, this should be motivation to see people achieve things that once were thought to be unachievable. That shit inspires me like none other. I don't see the reason for hating. I don't see the reason for jealousy. I don't understand that. But there's a lot of people out there that they can't give it up. They can't give credit when credit is due. And that's sad, man. But some names I wanted to point out. Obviously, Joe Rogan coming in at number 1. 83. And this is for annual earnings, by the way. Estimated 82 million earned in 2026. Or this might have been for 2025. I'm not sure. But Joe Rogan raking in the dough. I'm a huge Joe Rogan fan. I love Joe Rogan. I want to point out something though. These people I'm naming, this shit, and this goes back to my later episode. This goes back to later episodes when I talked about chopping the wood, doing the work, not putting in the work and expecting overnight success. Joe Rogan's been podcasting since 2009, y'all. 17 years he put this work in. So yes, damn right, he deserves it. Everything he's getting, he's earned, he's deserved, he's put the work in. 2009, the Joe Rogan Experience started. So 82 million a year, good shit, Joe. Respect, salute. Charlemagne the God coming in the top 10 for the Breakfast Club, and I'm guessing this has to do with Brilliant Idiots too. I don't listen to the Breakfast Club anymore like I used to, but I do listen to the Brilliant Idiots. I'm an avid listener. So I love Andrew Schultz. I love Charlemagne. I know I've been critical of his capitalistic hypocrisy on here before, which I stand on, but that's okay. That doesn't mean I can't be a fan of it and respect him and salute him as well. He came in at number 10. That's huge, man. So shout out Charlemagne the God. 27 M's a year. Woo! Big money. Big bread. These boys are bringing in the cash. You dig what I'm talking about? So Joe Rogan coming in at 10. Charlemagne the God coming in at 10. Bill Simmons from The Ringer. Bill Simmons, sports podcaster. Oh, by the way, Charlemagne, 30 years of radio. And shout out to Charlemagne. He just got a star on the Walk of Fame too. So shout out to Charlemagne while we're at it. But as far as radio and podcasting, 30 plus years. He's been doing the podcast with Schultz for at least 12, 13 years, somewhere around there. So like I said, chopping the wood, nothing happens overnight, man. You have to build the foundation. Bill Simmons from The Ringer. Bill Simmons coming in at 13 on the list. 22 million last year, this year, whichever year. 22 million. I'm a huge fan of The Ringer, and they have a lot of offshoots. And what he's built is definitely an inspiration for what I'm trying to do with the Man Up podcast and in the future what I'm trying to do. So I've definitely looked at his blueprint, I studied all these guys. I admire what they do, their talent, and what they built, and their vision for their infrastructure, in the work they put in to build it. Bill Simmons started the podcast, the Ringer podcast, in 2007. 2007. He's been at this shit since 2007. Can't do nothing but respect that and appreciate and applaud that. Put the work in. He chopped the wood. You got On Purpose. So shout out Bill Simmons. You got On Purpose. Jay Shetty. A huge fan of his. He raked in 21 million at 14. At 15, the Joe Budden podcast. Yes, this is what I love to see, man. I love this shit. This is inspirational, man. This makes me want to get it. 20 million for the Joe Budden podcast. Joe's one of my favorite podcasters, period, in the world. I think he's one of the best. I really wanted to highlight him because what he's doing independently, his business model has been one of the things I've studied more than anybody. Joe's independent, man, and he's trying to build an entire network independently. That is incredible to even attempt, let alone to do, or, in what he's doing it. He just started a true crime podcast on there now. Like, he's killing shit. And what he's built since about 2014, 2015 now, like I've said, he's over a decade in. This didn't just happen overnight, but what he's built, it's supremely admirable for him to do it, for him to not have to link up with a huge corporation. He does deals and stuff like that, but for him to not have to link up with a huge brand, with a huge company to get this done is simply, it's amazing. It's amazing. So shout out to Joe Budden too. Yeah, man. And there's a lot of good names on here, man. A lot of names on here. A lot of people. Shout out to everybody on the list. Every single person on that list. Shout out to you. What you're doing is incredible. Keep going, keep killing it, and thank you for the inspiration. Thank you for the dedication. Thank you for showing the way. Showing us the way. For someone like me who's starting a podcast, a humble start, a small start, it shows you what's possible. It shows you what you can do if you put the work in and you have faith in yourself. You don't quit. You keep chopping the wood. Anything can happen. Yeah, so, man, so amazing to see what these podcasters are doing. It's a brave new world out here, man. Anything is possible. Just got to put the work in. Keep putting the work in. Keep improving. And I'm not saying everyone's going to make $82 million or even 20 million or even 10 million, but you'll get somewhere if you keep at this. You'll get somewhere. I believe that for sure. If you got the talent, If people relate to you enough, all you gotta do is just keep grinding, keep putting the work in, man. The audience is out there for everybody. There's enough to eat for everybody. Obviously, look at this list. Everybody's eating. So there's no point in tearing each other down and bringing each other down. Just celebrate people's success. And that goes for just a period in life. Celebrate people's success. Their success does not mean your failure. It doesn't make you any less. Just celebrate people's success, man. Throw that jealousy to the side. In sports news, what do we got? I mean, training camp starting. Teams are getting underway in training camp in the NFL. So that's going. Excited. There ain't nothing like the NFL in the fall, man. There's nothing like fall. My favorite season. There's nothing like football in the fall. It's magical. So I'm excited for football season to start. Hopefully it's a better season than last year, especially for my Chiefs. Let's go, Pat. Let's go, Trav. Let's go, Big Andy, the Walrus. Let's go. We got to bounce back this year, man. But I'm looking forward to football. The Lakers got sold again. And it's funny because last episode we were talking about the Lakers ownership, their past ownership with Dr. Buss, them just trading the team a year and a half ago, or selling the team a year and a half ago. And now that owner who bought him sold him off to I think dude that was running Disney, Bob Iger, who used to run Disney, and some other guy. I'm not familiar with the other guy, but I do know that the man who just bought the Lakers a year ago is under investigation by the feds, apparently. And apparently he didn't have the money to buy the Lakers to begin with. I think he sold them for 12 billion? What did he sell them for this time? I think he sold them to Bob Iger and his partner for 12 billion. Yeah, this guy's getting Mark Walter, the man that bought the Lakers a year ago. Apparently he's under investigation by the feds for the federal government. And apparently he didn't have the money. People were shocked that he had the money to buy the Lakers last year for 10 billion. Well, he just flipped them and sold them to Bob Iger and his partner, whose name escapes me, for 12.5 billion. So he came up 2.5 billion. Was it some funny money? Did he do somebody a favor? I don't know. Apparently this guy's moseying up to Trump too, and people are suspecting him of wanting a pardon in the future they're thinking he might come under a real problem in this investigation, and they're saying he's moseying up to Trump because he's going to want that pardon down the road. And I think whoever he sold, Bob Iger and the other guy who he sold the team to, are connected to Trump in some way. So there's a lot of funny. I've never seen a team get flipped this quick. I've never seen someone buy a sports franchise and sell them a year later, especially the fucking Los Angeles Lakers, one of the biggest franchises in sports. You would think that's an asset, and as an owner, you want to hold on to them and sell as much as you got. Luka Doncic in his prime. You're going for more championships. You would think they would want to sell down the road when you're worth more. So maybe he's getting that money ready for these legal problems because he just came up 2.5. Maybe this was all a scheme to get himself out of those legal problems or those financial problems that he was having prior to purchasing the Lakers, apparently. But I've never seen, this is unprecedented to me. I've never seen anything like this. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Like Kawhi. Apparently Kawhi was requesting things that were illegal of teams to do before he was signing. Like, all this shit is coming out, and it's like, man, sports betting has really changed a lot of things. I'll tell you what, it's made athletes more bold, and it's been a lot of under the table illegal things going on in the world of sports. You saw with Chauncey Billups and the Blazers and what he was doing, running the whole gambling operation. I mean, there's a lot going on right now. There's a lot of corrupt things going on in sports that I feel like gambling has opened the floodgates to. And it's just like, you have to be really careful and tread lightly with what you do in this day and age. Because once they get you, you're got, and that's it. It's over. But I've never seen anything like this with this Lakers situation. So Bob Iger owns the team now, who was running Disney and ESPN at one point. Or he's part of Disney. He ran ESPN. He was the boss over at ESPN. I remember hearing that name. So it's interesting that he owns the Lakers now, or he's, part owner of the Lakers. Gonna be interesting. I mean, he's not working there anymore, so it's not a conflict of interest, right? But it's gonna be real interesting, man. These billionaires and their relationships, and it's like, I guess the Mark Walter guy, he's gonna mosey out of his situation. I feel like when it comes to billionaires and the elite, they're playing by a different set of rules. Like, the law does not apply to them the same way it applies to us. They do a lot of shit and get away with it, whereas we'd be locked up for fucking 20 years. But when you have the money and the power and the relationships, it makes things go away. A la Donald Trump. So it's just real interesting. We're not playing by the same set of rules as they are. But when you got $1 billion, maybe there are no rules. But yeah, man, that's all we got for today. Thank you for joining me for another week. Man Up Podcast. Hey, man, listen. Follow me on IG, Xy'sDad22. Follow me on Twitter, The Next Man Up 26. Listen on Spotify. Listen on Apple. Watch on YouTube. The Man Up Podcast 22. And yeah, man, I'm coming back every week. You know that, like clockwork. So thank you for joining me for another day. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Stay safe, stay blessed. And remember, don't just play the game, change the game. I'm out, y'all. Till next time.
Fell in love with the cat.